Hi, I'm Care Hart, and in this month's Happy Pack, there is a ball of yarn, and the balls of yarn are very different sizes from medium to large to very small. If it's very small, I put two in there. And the purpose of this month's kit is to make pom poms. Now, there are other links on the little piece of paper you received, which is also in the description box below for those of you who are watching it and are not a happy packer, and you'd like to be able to do these things. But let me show you how easy it is to make a pom pom. So I have my ball of yarn, I have a pair of scissors, and I have my fingers. So if you have two hands, and this one hand, you want to be able to separate your fingers, because if you hold them close when you're wrapping the yarn, it's going to be harder to get your fingers open and out of there. So you're going to start like this and it'll gradually get a little bit tighter, but you don't want it too tight. You're going to wrap this around your hand, just the finger part, about 50 times. And so I have my ball of yarn over on the right, and frankly, I'm just wrapping. So all I'm doing is wrapping. If you don't know what the Happy Pack program is, or the hardest program, or any of that stuff, that's okay. You don't have to. You're just going to learn how to make a pom-pom without all the fancy tools, which I appreciate that companies make fancy tools to make it easier. See, my fingers are still spread. Now, if your yarn is thicker, you may not be able to wrap it 50 times. If your yarn is thinner, then you may need to wrap it way more than 50 times to get a good looking pom-pom. I wait until it looks fluffy, right? It needs to just look fluffy. Hey, Arlene and Tammy. Oops, look, I'm going past my fingers. I'm going to keep your fingers there. Okay, so I'm just wrapping. Now, the more you wrap, don't go too crazy, but the more you wrap, the easier it is to make a good looking pom-pom. And the less you wrap, then the more it's going to flop about. The tighter you tie your knot, because we're about to tie our knot here. The tighter you tie your knot, the better it is. Because if it's a loose knot, some of your little pom-pom fibers are going to come out. Okay, so I've just cut my thread or yarn, and I'm just going to go around. Now, it's easier for me personally, so I have these 4 fingers right here. It's easier for me personally to take these 2 fingers out. So hold these fingers like this and pull your 2 fingers out, so you only have 2 fingers in there and these fingers are free. So much easier for me. Oh, look, I have the other side of this. Just got lucky. That doesn't always happen. Okay, I'm not going to use it because really that doesn't always happen. So I'm going to go through on the back of my hand and try to push this piece through until it gets to the other side. Feel it out right there. So now it's on the other side. Keep your fingers through there, and you're going to just tie it around here. See, it's going to want to come undone until we get tight. So if anything happens like that, don't worry about it. We'll just we'll get rid of those extra ones. I like to send it through twice. Come on now, go through twice to tie my knot. And then what I usually do is I'll grab another piece anywhere willy-nilly, cut it, and tie that piece. Where's the piece that's loose? Make sure that's there, that's there. All right. So I'm going to send this one through. You guys don't worry about it. All you're doing is you're tying a really, really tight knot. Okay. I want it to be all the way around. How come I don't see it on the back side here? Let's have it come all the way around. Well, don't worry about it. All the loose threads will make its way fine. Okay. So you can shuffle it off your fingers, but I like to, while on my fingers, tie the knot. That's why you need a good long thread in there. Okay, and you want to tie it really tight. Then I pull it off. See, you can see that it's tighter right there. I pull it off. Where is that piece that we're tying? Oh, there it is. I'm like, I'm pulling from the middle there. All right. Oh, and if that happens, it's no big deal. I pulled it too tight. All right. So I'm glad this happened on here because you guys won't stress about it when it happens to you. So I'm pulling it. I still have a knot there. And I'm just going to tie it. No fancy pants stuff. Didn't know how strong I was now, did I? All right, here we go. I have just some extra thread there. This loose piece, I'm not going to stress about it. It'll be fine. What you want to do is, you see how this bubbles over and here's your middle? Okay. You just want to take your scissors. In this kit, I did not include scissors because we've included scissors in the past. If you receive a kit and you don't have scissors, my email is in there. Get a hold of me and I will get you scissors. Okay. If you didn't receive a kit and you're just checking this channel out and you want to see how to make a pom-pom, it's easier if your yarn isn't all fancy pants, but you can do it with any kind of yarn. I sent most of the Happy Packers regular looking yarn. See, we're looking to see if we have any loops. There's a loop right there. Okay. If you feel like it's loose, take one of your long pieces, like I have one right here, and you can tie it again before it gets too fluffy puff. Okay. If you want to, you don't have to. But let's say I want to, and I want to just tie it again because I'm worried it's going to come apart. And just tie it. And you don't want all your strands out. If a couple fall out, it's not going to be a problem. Okay. You see how it's just going to bubble up anyway. You're not even going to see that knot in there. Over, under, under, over. If you need help with a knot, ask the person helping you. A lot of the Happy Packers have helpers. If you don't have a helper, please make sure that when you're cutting with your scissors, your fingers are out of the way because it is kind of messy. So I have my fingers on the bottom part. And you're saying, this looks nothing like a pom-pom. Well, because you're not there yet. And my scissors are kind of dull, but I bet you a lot of you have dull scissors too. So get it over the scissors. Try to cut your little loops out. Don't try to cut all the yarn at once. Is that all of it there? I feel like it's not. Okay. Then you're going to have the funny part, right? The funny part is you're going to give your yarn a haircut. Well, you could leave it like this if you want the wild one, right? You could totally leave it like this if you want to. It's a fluffy, fluffy pom-pom. But me personally, I don't want mine like this. I want mine to look more rounded. So instead of having the fluffy, fluffy, I know, right? It can totally be a bunny. I'm going to find my loose threads. Like this is the perfect example to show you if you just want it to be fluffy, but not the crazy threads. You want to trim that off. Was my arm in your way? Let me show you with the long one. Now, if you want to, you can totally use these long ones and have it hang from something. It could be a loop. It could be an ornament. It could be something like that. Or you could thread them all together and make a pom-pom banner. We have like a pom-pom and then maybe like a fabric banner and then another pom-pom. But for me, I just want a little bit of a loop right here. So I'm going to do this with the long thread that made its magic right here that wanted to be a loop. So I'll make it a loop. He just wanted to be a loop. And I'll cut the extra thread off because I don't want it. Now, I'm going to kind of flatten it. Watch my loop though. I'm going to kind of flatten it and keep my loop over here. And give it a haircut. Now, when you're giving it a haircut, you don't want to just cut it straight. You want to feel like a ball. Watch your fingers on your haircut, please. I want to hear about people slicing through their fingers. I never consider any of these tutorials. I consider these inspiration videos to hopefully inspire you to make something. So let's go to the other side. And then give this baby a haircut over here. There's another person who actually does this better than me. I have that link in the description box below. And fold it over here, lay it flat, however I want to, and then trim the excess off. Watch yourself. I'm talking to myself as much as I'm talking to you guys. And you'll see this will make a tighter pom-pom. Flip it over. Woo, this one's got some wild hairs on the back side. Don't cut your loop. Keeping my loop safe. All right, let's fluffy you up. And now, with it all fluffy, which I like mine a little fluffier than the average sole. Oh, look, a couple didn't get cut. There we go. So, because I like my stuff to be a little messy. You can cut it tighter and closer to the circle to get more of a pom-pom that's closer to the circle. And that's okay, too. I have all these fun fibers and stuff you can use for another craft if you want to save them, or get rid of them if you don't. Pull that off. And now what I like to do is just give it the round haircut without the flat. The flat was just to get the big ones off. And now I just want to see what it looks like to give it the round haircut. Just keep moving it, keeping your fingers out of the way the whole time. All right, I'm getting a vibe here. Let me just flip it upside down so this gravity helps keep that out of the way. That was a little too straight. Y'all didn't know it was going to take me this long to trim up a little ball. Anybody thinking of an SNL skit right now while I'm sitting here cutting a yarn ball? Just saying. I do love those SNL skits. Talking about the old ones, y'all. Talking about the old ones. So I didn't do a good job of trimming these top ones. So let me just trim the top one away. Trim the top one away there. You can make this as fluffy or as tame as you want. There you go. Do you like your lions tame or do you like them fluffy? That's just all I want to know, how you want the mane. I'm making mine a little more tame as we go. I'm moving my fluffies over to the side. I think I'm just enjoying the process of the haircut. This reminds me of like when kids cut each other's hair. Don't do that. No? Getting rid of the extra pieces. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your pom-pom. Oh, look at that. We have strays that came out on the shake. Look at that. We've got to trim these shakers. They just wanted to be out there. Strays on the shake. All right. Have to say, me personally, I like it just like it is. A little bit fluffy. It's a little bit wild. If you want to just keep trimming it to where they're all the same size in a perfect little tight ball, that's okay. You can do that too. Add some gray yarn to that white and you've got my hair. That's too funny. But really, this is all I came on for. But the real reason I came on is because a lot of times when people are trying to type in the links in the Happy Pack, it's difficult to tell which one's a 0, which one's an O, which one's an I, which one's an L. All the links are down below in the description box, and you can just click on those links to see all the links that you need. Hopefully you enjoyed the process of making a pom-pom, and hopefully you have enough yarn to keep yourself going for a while, because look how much yarn I still have left, right? And so this yarn will probably be used for other projects or wrapping packages sold in fundraisers. But for your yarn, use it how you want to. Make yourself some fun. Share some yarn with other Happy Packers if you have them nearby. Love and hugs, everyone. Hope you had fun. Take care. I was supposed to just take a little off the side. That's too funny. Bye-bye, all.